Hey guys, welcome back to Baddie and a Book. My name is Gabby and today we have a book haul. The first book, we're just gonna jump right into it. So the first book that I picked up is actually from Book of the Month. This is November's selection, and so I thought since I had bought so many Book of the Month books thrifted, maybe I should just try the subscription and see how it goes. But I picked up Someday Maybe. Now this book, first of all, the cover is so damn pretty, but this one follows a Nigerian woman whose husband has just passed, and I thought that the premise of this book was going to be so interesting, and out of all the picks that they had, this one was the one that I was most intrigued by, so I went ahead and picked up this one. The next book that I picked up in a book that I've actually already read is called Finding Yvonne by Brandy Colbert. Now this book is a coming of age story. There's a little bit of a love triangle going on here as well. I really enjoyed this book and I definitely recommend it if you're looking for a quick and easy YA romancy-ish coming of age story. The next book that I picked up, which is another book that I have partially read. I haven't read the entirety of the book just yet. I actually picked this up a very long time ago, but this one is called Stolen by Lucy Christopher. Now this one follows a girl who I believe is abducted or kidnapped at an airport. That's all I'm really gonna say about this book, just because I've only read about half of it anyways, so I don't really know the entire premise of the story. But I don't remember too much about it because it was quite a long time ago that I picked it up. I do remember that I enjoyed it though, for the parts that I did actually read in this book, and it was a pretty quick read for the most part. I just kind of put it down, never picked it back up, got busy with life, so hopefully this will be one that I pick up again here soon. The next author that I picked up, I actually picked up all of these books from Second Sale, and these are all books by Louis Erdrich. Now these books, I got 3 technically, but I got 2 copies of the same book by accident. I totally thought that these 2 covers were different books, but they're just 2 different covers of the same book. So I got Four Souls, Shadow Tag, and then the Roundhouse. I got it in paperback and in hardback. This is the one that I thought were 2 different books. They turned out to be the same. I might end up giving this one away. We shall see, but I do really like both of the covers, so we'll see. But essentially the author is native, and so I really wanted to get books with a different culture, and I'd never heard of this author before, so I thought I would pick up multiples of her books just to see if this is an author that will be for me. I'm really excited about those. Next book that I picked up at my local Walmart, and this one is called The Marathon Don't Stop, The Life and Times of Nipsey Hussle by Rob Kenner. I need to do more research to verify if Rob Kenner is a valid or credible source for writing a story about Nipsey Hussle and his life. So I'm gonna do that first before I actually pick up the book and read it, but it was the only one that was there on the shelf, so I was like, if he ends up being credible and I don't pick this up, especially because it was only like $10 at Walmart rather than like the $16 or $17 that it is everywhere else. Yeah, if I didn't pick it up, I would have been mad. if I did find out that Rob Kenner was actually a credible author or a credible writer in terms of writing about Nipsey Hussle's story. So I'm really excited to pick this one up. Hopefully here in the near future. I've been getting more and more into biographies, autobiographies, memoirs, and things of that nature. Just reading about some of our favorite celebrities, people that we look up to in the celebrity world. So I'm really excited to pick this one up eventually. I'm hoping and praying that Rob Kenner is a credible source or a credible writer in terms of writing about his life. I know that realistically speaking, Nipsey Hussle would have been the best person to write a book about his life, but since he is no longer here, RIP, since he is no longer here, I'm hoping that this will give more insight to his life and hopefully expose a side of like I was saying, I'm hoping that this will give a closer insight to his life, and maybe I'll learn some things about him that I didn't know before. Next 2 books that I picked up were also Walmart purchases as well. I have If You Just Say Yes by Rayon Laudat, and then The High Price of a Good Man by Deborah Phillips. Both of these are romances. I don't know too much about them, but I picked them up from the local Walmart because I thought that they were a pretty good price. Both of them were $10, and I think actually they were like $7, because I don't think I would have. I think they were actually like about $7, but I figured these are both authors I've never heard of before, so I thought I would go ahead and pick those ones up. The next book that I picked up, and I would say honestly the only middle grade book that I have, I think this is the only middle grade book that I own, honestly, is called Stella and the Stella by Starlight by Sharon M. Draper. I want to say that this is, and actually in my opinion, this is still in brand new condition. There's very minor things on here, but still in brand new condition. So this book actually takes place in North Carolina, so it takes place in the South, and I believe this also still takes place during the time of segregation, because it does mention things of the Klan. And so I'm very excited to read about this. I'm wondering how this book will portray this time period, and also the impact to Stella during this time, to be able to reach an audience of a middle grader, if that makes sense. Like, I'm very interested. I'm sure that this one is going to be a much easier, I don't want to even say easier, but a much easier read than like an adult book or a young adult book, since this is a middle grade book. But I'm very interested to see how Sharon Draper illustrates and articulates this time period, so I'm really excited to pick that one up. Next book that I picked up is called A Taste of Reality by Kimberly Lawson Roby. So this one follows a woman by the name of Anise. Now she has a successful career, a successful wedding, and it seems like she has maybe a really good best friend that's involved in this story, where her and her best friend are at like an edge or at odds because of secrets that her best friend is keeping. Her husband is also having an affair, and then it also says she's in competition with a white colleague. So I'm very interested to see what this is about. I don't own anything by this particular author, and I found this at the local Goodwill. So the book is really in good condition. I really love the cover art of this book as well. So I'm really excited to pick that one up. The next book that I picked up, now this one is giving like secret agent type vibes. This one is called Bonita Ray Jenkins Diva Secret Agent by Larissa Bates. So this one is giving like secret agent but make it black. And I love that. I love that for this. There's also a second book that I think has already came out at this point. I think it was supposed to release in November, the last time I checked on Amazon. So if I really like this book, I'll end up picking up the second one as well. The next book that I picked up is a thriller, and this one I got from the Walmart bargain section, and this one is called All the Broken People by Leah Conan. The thing I really like about this book, well, one thing that really made me want to pick this up is that I do have other books by an author by the name of Sarah Pekkanen, and Sarah Pekkanen actually has blurbed the back of this book. And then I don't know a whole lot about thrillers. I try not to read the backs of the books or the synopsis of the books of thrillers when I pick them up, because I want to go in as blindly as possible. I have the most success with thrillers when I don't read the back of the book, so that's that one. Next book that I picked up is called Anna K by Jenny Lee. I know that this is a romance novel. I believe it is YA, and I ended up actually picking this one up from the Goodwill, and it was only $3. This wasn't even in like the Amazon hardback section, and the book is still in perfect condition. Like, there are no damages on this book whatsoever. I did hear that there was a second book, or I did see, I think it was on Book Outlet that I saw that there was a second book to this. So if I really do end up liking this book, I'll end up picking up the second one. The next two books I picked up from the one and only Books-A-Million. Now, I picked up two. Both of these, I had seen covers of these everywhere. More specifically, The Cuban Affair by Nelson DeMille. I don't even know what this book is about, but the cover was what drew me into this one, and I have seen it in so many other places. It was only $5 at Books-A-Million as well too, so that was a plus for me. Again, I have no idea what this is about. I can only assume that this is a crime novel just based on The Cuban Affair, the title of the book. I could be wrong by that, so don't mark my words on that. And then the other one that I picked up is called Life After Death by Sister Soul. There isn't a damn thing funny about this clip or this book or the title or anything like that. I just got done stuttering like a motherfucker over my words, so that's why I was laughing. Just thought I would come in here and say that. Now, this book, for one, was only $8. Secondly, I have been wanting to pick up books by this author for so long, so I was so happy to be able to pick this one up from Books-A-Million. If I end up liking this author, I'm going to end up picking up more. Oh no! Damn it. this is actually a sequel novel. So I'm gonna have to pick up The Coldest Winter Ever first before I pick up this book, which makes me kind of sad. It doesn't make me that sad because that means I get to buy more books, but I won't be able to pick up this author as soon as I had anticipated to pick that author up. The next book that I picked up is called Lies We Tell Ourselves by Robin Talley. I don't remember a whole lot about this book. I did pick this one up from my local Goodwill and it was only $2, so I was really excited about that. I think this one takes place back either during segregation times or around the time that they first desegregated everybody. I believe the main character, I could be wrong, but the main character in this one, if I remember correctly, is visiting or is attending an all-white school for the first time, and she is the only black girl to attend this school. So I thought that this would be very interesting to pick up. This book was written in 2014, so it's a relatively newer book. And I believe this is also a YA novel. The next 3 books I picked up, I believe I got one of these from Second Sale and the other 2 from Walmart because Walmart stays selling this author. Every time I go to Walmart or Target, I always see this author, but that is Miss Mary Kay Andrews. I got Sunset Beach, The Weekenders, and Hello Summer. All of these are giving thriller-y, maybe mystery vibes, mystery beach vibes. All of these I'm gonna save for the summertime, and they were all so cheap that I was like, even if I don't like them, I only spent a couple of bucks on them to not have to spend $28.99 on each book. So I know that this one is giving mystery vibes, workplace mystery, workplace murder vibes. This one is following a woman and her husband, and I believe her husband has some mysterious secrets that the wife doesn't know about, and throughout the story we're finding out about those secrets. And then the last one, Hello Summer, is giving small town mystery vibes. And then the one thing I also really love about this cover is that the sandy part, can you hear that? That was so obnoxious, but the sand part does have some texture on it, which I thought was pretty cool. The next book that I picked up, which I thrifted this from a local Goodwill, and I'm really excited about this one, and I love the cover of this one. This one is called Daughter of Fortune by Isabel Allende. I believe that this one is a historical novel. The one thing that really drew me into this one was that this one is actually a translation, so it's originally written in Spanish, translated to English, and this one is a Oprah's book club pick, which you can never go wrong with those. Oprah picks them for a reason. So the next author that I ended up picking up, I believe one of these books I mentioned in one of my very first hauls that I posted on this channel, because I think I got one of these, if I remember correctly. I got one of these last year or the year before, whenever I filmed that first initial haul from when I went to Goodwill. I ended up picking up this one then, and so as a result of me picking up this book, I picked up the rest of them over time, and I wanted to re-include it in this haul, and that is all books by Miss Jennifer Weiner. I know that she primarily writes romance novels, contemporary novels. I'm not gonna go through all of the synopses of these books just because there are so many, but I might be able to give like a few small details or whatever. But I have Who Do You Love, which this one is going to be a romance. The next one is called Certain Girls, and all of these I either purchased from thrift books or Second Sale. I didn't buy any of these books brand new. The next book that I picked up is called Good in Bed. I really love this cover. I know it's like a little different and it's a little odd. Like, it's definitely not something that we would see nowadays with the cartoon trending covers, but I really do like this cover. And then we have Goodnight Nobody. And I think also most of these are women's fiction. The next one is called Little Earthquakes. This one's a little bit of a thickie. Like, this one is... Ooh, girl, this one's a little over 400 pages. Then we have The Guy Not Taken. Now this one is a little bit different from the rest of them because this one is full of short stories, which I'm not a huge fan of short stories. Like, I don't have very many short stories in my collection of all the books that I've purchased so far. I do have a few, but because I've never tried anything by Jennifer Weiner, I wanted to pick that one up as well, just to give myself something a little bit different rather than her contemporary romance, women's fiction novels. And then we have Then Came You. And then lastly for this author, we have That Summer. Now, I'm not gonna lie, okay? So this book, this is a newer book of hers, and it does have that cartoon cover that's trending nowadays. But I'm not gonna lie, I picked up this book and I opened it to a random ass page, and as innocent as this cover looks, that page that I read was not innocent. It was not, okay? And I was like, I literally opened it and I read it and I was like, okay. So I'm really excited to pick this one up eventually. This one will probably be one of the first ones I pick up because I had that experience with it. But yeah, that's the last book from Jennifer Weiner. And then the last set of books that I have here are 2 remaining authors that I picked up. All of these were thrifted. Yeah, every single one of these were thrifted, these last couple of ones that I'm going to go through. And it's just because they were from the same author, so I went on a kind of a little bit of a buying all books from these authors, trying to get as many books as possible and not wanting to spend full price on the books. The first author is Miss Elin Hilderbrand. Now, I don't know a whole lot about her books. I do know that a lot of them take place in Nantucket, I believe. I'm pretty sure. I have hauled the Winter in Paradise series from this author as well, so I already have those amongst some other hardback versions. I just didn't have any paperback, and all of these were much cheaper in the paperback versions. And then I've heard very mixed reviews about her different books. The other thing that I have known about her books is that they are mystery beachy vibes, mystery summery vibes, and I believe she releases a new book every summer, I believe. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that, but I could be wrong. But I believe that is her thing. So the first book that we have is called The Perfect Couple. Then we have Miss Barefoot, which the other thing too is what I really love about this author is that based on her covers, she has a very consistent cover pattern, cover theme amongst all of her books. So even if I didn't know what a book was, that a book for sure was written by her, just based on how she covers her books and how she chooses to illustrate her books, I know that it'll definitely be a her book just because of, the consistency amongst the covers. We have A Summer Affair. We have The Matchmaker, Silver Girl, The Rumor, we have Beautiful Day, and The Castaways. So again, all of these books have a mixture. All of these books have a mixture of romance, women's fiction, contemporary fiction, mystery vibes, murder mystery vibes on all of these. So I'm really excited to pick these ones up eventually. Also, all of her books are quite thick. Like all of these are at least 400 pages or close to 400 pages. So again, these will probably be more so books that I read in the spring and summertime of next year. But I'm glad to actually have them and to be able to have them readily available for next summer, spring and summer, to pick them up. And I forgot to mention the only book that I picked up here that was brand new was this one, and this one is from Books A Million. And then the last author and the last set of books in this haul, actually no JK. Actually no JK, wait, hold on, before we do that, I have The Falling by TJ Newman. Now this one, I remember picking this one up. I got this one from Amazon. I got it used on Amazon. So I think I only paid like $5 or so from this book. But this book I've heard really good things about, and the premise seemed really interesting. So this one follows a woman, I guess the plane is crashing, and it follows this character on the last, I want to say couple hours or 24 hours of her life while she is falling down from the sky in this plane, and it kind of takes her back to moments in her life. So I'm assuming that this book will go from the present to the past and back and forth while she is kind of reminiscing on her life. I think there's also going to be some sort of like what if I had done this, what if I had done that, or I wish I had done this, and those last moments of her life while the plane is falling down. It sounds intense as fuck, but I thought that that would be an interesting pickup. And now we are at the last author of today's haul, and it is Terry McMillan, the queen herself. So I have Waiting to Exhale, and all of these were thrifted, by the way. I Almost Forgot About You, and A Day Late and $1 Short. All of these Terry McMillan, Need I Say More, Waiting to Exhale. I believe I hauled the other book, the second book in this series. Yes, so I hauled the second book in the series already in a different haul, but I did purchase them around the same time. I actually had no idea that these books, there was a first and a second book when I first picked them up, but I did haul them around the same time. I just forgot to mention it in the last one. And then I went to my local thrift and I saw 2 more, so I thought I would go ahead and pick up more of her books. I want to try to collect as many of her books as possible, like I do with most authors that I'm really intrigued by. But yeah, those are all of the books that I picked up this go around. Thank you guys again for watching. If you like this video, like and comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.